Good morning, Detroit. I'm Dr. Sunanda Samathar Corrado, co-hosting the John Telford Detroit Show with Dr. John Telford, coming to you live at 10 o'clock every Wednesday morning on WJZZ Cool TV, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Dr. John Telford is a former Detroit Public School superintendent, a former world-class athlete and conqueror of Olympic champions, an author of 6 Detroit-oriented books: The Poet Emperor of Earth, What Old Men Know, Creative Insubordination, The Will Robinson Story, The Poetic Prancings of Mad John, his explosive autobiography, A Life on the Run, and another forthcoming poetry book, Athletes, Activism, and Apple Boughs, a Detroit poetic epic. He's also a show on WCHB AM 1340, Detroit's gospel station, Saturday mornings at 9:30 and Monday evenings at 6:30. That's Saturday mornings at 9:30 and Monday evenings at 6:30. His books are available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, or just by calling The Good Doctor at 313-460-8272. That's 313-460-8272. Dr. John Telford has been called a legend and also a lightning rod for controversy. He has received the Detroit City Council Spirit of Detroit Award and the Joe Louis Foundation Spirit of the Champ Award. He was named Wayne State University's Alumnus of the Year in 2001, and a Detroit track was named in his honor. Dr. Telford's email is drjohntelfordedd@aol.com. That's drjohntelfordedd@aol.com. Now, without further ado, I present to you the crusading old native Detroiter, Dr. John Telford.
Thank you, Dr. Sunanda Corrado, that PhD from Columbia University, who is an anthropologist by training. Dr. Corrado has been teaching at Wayne County Community College District for over 10 years.
That's right.
And look at her, she looks like she's 17 years old. So how can she have been teaching
That's
there?
because you're 86, Dr. Telford.
Well, no, you look like you're 16 years old sometimes.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
But she's currently a researcher for the Detroit Equity Action Lab, that's housed in the Wayne State University Law School, and she is founder and CEO of Education by Design. My name is Detroit. I'm a blue-collar town. Blue salt melts my mid-March snow. Speedy cars and sprinters spring from me. I father fierce fighters and funky music. In a Motown moment, I can spit the blues right back in a bureaucrat's eye. Have you never seen blue salt? No complex chemistry here, only the old color of a new sky. And there is a new sky dawning on Detroit today, because we have in the studio, sitting right across from me, Sean Williams. We're going to be interviewing Sean Williams. He's got the Vagina Monologues, here in Detroit. And we're also going to be interviewing Ray Smith. Ray Smith, that graduate of Martin Luther King High School, or actually he was an alumnus of Martin Luther King High School and also attended Wayne State University. And he's got a program to teach kids to do auto mechanics. So we're going to be interviewing Ray right now. We've got him on an image here because he's not in the studio. So Ray, we understand that you're one of the founders of the nonprofit organization, the Black Bottom Group, and blastdetroit.org. What is the Black Bottom Group and what is blastdetroit.org? Tell us.
Well, the Black Bottom Group is an organization that me and my family started back in 2008. It was actually started as a literacy program, some community engagement, doing some things in terms with skills trades. Basically, it's more of a workforce development and a social media in context, identifying some of the things that took place in the old historical Black Bottom. 2007, we actually applied to the State Historical Society and actually applied for a historical marker for Black Bottom Detroit.
Hmm.
'Cause actually, my family grew up in Black Bottom. My grandmother grew up in Black Bottom. She was interviewed back in the 50s before Black Bottom was destroyed to build I-275 by Channel 7 Action News. So we started that based on the historical context of Black Bottom Detroit. That's how the Black Bottom group came to life.
Okay, and what is Blast Detroit? What's that?
Blast Detroit stands for Building Literacy Skills Trades. It's more so of a workforce development program to develop the skills trades in terms of we worked with some of the construction trades, automotive trades, and the technology STEM trades as well. So that's
Mm.
what Blast Detroit. That's the program and services arm under the umbrella of Black Bottom. Black Bottom is the nonprofit organization, and Black Detroit is more so of the program and services that we offer.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your involvement with what is it? Modal Lights Inclusion. You know, the self-driving technology, the mobility app technology. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well,
What is
mobility.
it, and what is your involvement with it and in it?
Well, we actually, my sister, she started a transportation company also back in 2010,
Hmm.
uh, which is not directly connected to Black Bottom, but we still kind of work together on mobility projects. So what we did, 2018, we filed for a grant, a mobility grant with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation,
Hmm.
and it was a partnership with a company called Navia. And Navia,
What was it called?
Navia, Navya, is a French name,
Oh,
and
okay.
they build and design self-driving shuttles.
Hmm.
So we applied for the grant in partnership with Wayne State, uh, Flash Star Bank, a couple other organizations as well
Hmm.
to deploy this 12-passenger self-driving shuttle in the historical area called Brush Park, because
Hmm.
we know Brush Park was part of Paradise Valley. So we strategically deployed the shuttle in the area to create still connect to the historical area of Black Bottom Paradise Valley. So we deployed that shuttle in 2019, and
Hmm.
that shuttle was designed. It was a paratransit shuttle, so designed to pick up seniors and people with disabilities, transport them from Brush Park area, Brewster Douglas apartments, and Brewster Douglas homes to the Detroit Medical Center complex.
Well, you know
So
what? This being the Motor City, why haven't we heard about these projects until today? Yeah, like
you know,
honestly, I didn't even know about these self-driving shuttles until today. This is
I'm a
amazing.
I'm a little guy in Detroit. In Detroit, it's all about who you connected with to get the media
That's
exposure.
Oh, you can say that
so,
again.
so can you tell us a little bit of the students, the profile of the students that you're serving, the profile of the city, the connection you see between the human capital of our students here and what we can do for technology and mobility in the future?
Well, we actually back in 2015. No, I'm sorry, 2013. We actually had students come down to Wayne State every Saturday. We had a technology incubator.
Hmm.
Uh, we established that every summer. We also had a partnership with Microsoft store in Somerset Mall. So
Mm.
we were engaging the students with all various technology, introducing them to the different components of technology, different technology products, AR, VR. Uh, we also had some things going on with the Wayne State uh, engineering department as well.
Yeah,
Hmm.
We
the
had
engineering department. You still operating with them? Doing something with them?
Yeah, the last thing we did was this shuttle. So we working on some future projects as well right now. So we still, you know,
So is the school district working with you directly? Or are you working through particular schools? Or are you just working with students as they come?
well, we work with students as we recruit the students in different different other organizations because we have a partnership with Detroit Housing Commission. So
Hmm.
we kind of,
You're also with doing something with United Way, aren't you?
yeah, we have partnership with United Way as well. So they advertise a lot of our stuff, and we kind of serve that population, that's in need of certain service that we provide.
Now, Ray, I understand that you need some cars to be donated to work on. Is that
Oh
correct?
yeah, Yeah, we're establishing a car donation program for our students to work on, as well as even prepare those vehicles once they get fixed and operate safely. Give them to the community, those families in need.
So if somebody wants to donate a car to you, who do they call? What do they have to do?
They can go to our website. We have a car donation form on our website, blastdetroit.org. And
Okay, well, you say that website again. Enunciate it clearly and say it again.
blastdetroit.org.
BLAST, right? Blastdetroit.org.
Or they can call
Okay,
our
is
number.
there a phone number?
Yes, 313-309-7032.
Okay, say that again.
313-309-7032, or you can email us at info@blastdetroit.org.
Okay, have you been doing anything with the Detroit Land Bank?
Yeah, we're partially with Detroit Land Bank as well. Matter of fact, our area, because typically when you're a nonprofit, when you're partnering with the land bank, they designate you a certain area. So our area that that was designated, that we proposed, was the Detroit Riverview area down by Belle Isle, in the Belle Isle area. So we purchased a couple of lots in that area, and we pretty much try to keep the area clean and safe. In conjunction with one of the churches there. So we're trying to make the Belle Isle area a safe place and a well-respected place. I actually grew up right there on Canton Jefferson, right across the street from Belle Isle.
Oh, right. Okay, that's where I live now. I live in the River House, right across from Belle Isle.
Right in Detroit, there's a college program for transportation design, and it's housed in CCS. And kids from all over the world are coming to Detroit to matriculate from CCS, College for Creative Studies. Is there any kind of conversation going on with them? Because I know they're part of the whole UNESCO crew, right? UNESCO has designated Detroit the only city of design in North America. And so what you're doing is amazing, not just for our students, but just for future imaginations, right? Has CCS been talking with you at all?
Well, it's strange that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, she was a student here at CCS. She was from Germany.
Yeah.
And she worked with Ford as well. And she the one, actually, me and her worked together and did some designs of the self-driving technology. So she actually played a part in the project, the self-driving shuttle that we deployed in Busch Park. But she was on a visa, so she had to go back to Germany. And also she worked for a self-driving technology company in Germany as well, where they built these they call them motion boards. You see them at GM now, where you just have a battery with the wheels on it over the GM. They call that just a battery. That's the technology. That's the vehicle itself. It just needs a body on top of the vehicle. So she designed those and worked for a company that manufactured those motion boards.
You're also doing something with. I got it written down what you sent me. You're doing something with Detroit at Work and Michigan Works. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's our program that we partner with Detroit at Works and Michigan Works of Michigan to actually provide the vocational program for the hybrid electric vehicle and the combustion motor mechanic school. So that's the part. So we're rolling that out right now as we speak now. So
Ray, I used to be a superintendent of schools, but right now, I'm an old guy. I'm the poet in residence in the Detroit Public Schools Community District, and I've got a class. I go around to the high schools reading my poetry, but I also have a poetry class that I work with. Young men at Frederick Douglass Academy, and I would like to have you someday come in and talk to my kids about what you're doing. Would you be interested in doing that?
Well, it'd be anything that we can do to help kids and teenagers to get into a career path.
I'd love my kids to know what you're teaching. I mean, I would really love to have them know that this is something that they really need to have. We're going to have to go to a commercial now, but
in one more minute. So more minute. So Frederick Douglass is the only all boys academy that is public in the state of Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and now they offer AP classes, and so they're a full-fledged college prep high school. And so Dr. Telford, as being a poet in residence there, is really trying to bring the spotlight back to Frederick Douglass. It's not a reform school. It's a college prep school for boys, the only public college prep school available in the state.
Yeah, I've got some young men who are real athletes too.
For
You know, they
boys.
won the state basketball title
They won the
in
state
class
basketball.
D, and they got a good track program going there.
They would be very keen for your program, sir.
Well, absolutely, because a lot of them, a lot of young men, they need to, not if they don't want to be mechanics per se, but they need to learn how to service their own vehicles to save them money, anywhere as well.
Okay, so commercial.
Absolutely.
You got to need a commercial.
And you've been listening to the John Telford Detroit Show with Dr. John Telford and your co-host Sunanda Samathar Corrado on WJZZ Cool TV on Wednesdays from 10 to 11, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe to us and the various other programs that are offered to you here on WJZZ, the coolest station in the world. And don't forget to pick up a copy. I'm sorry, Mr. Please, of A Life on the Run, John Telford's, Dr. Telford's explosive autobiography, and an ethnographic expose of how education and humanity work together. It's a fun book, guys. So many details.
I got a poetry book too, and about 5 other books. So if you need to get a signed copy of any of these books, just call 3-460-8272. Or email me at drjohntelfordedd, because my sales have been slipping since the COVID. So I'm trying to stay on WCHB AM 1340, my program that I do every Saturday morning and Tuesday night, and I'm trying to stay on this show here. But it isn't cheap. I gotta pay to come on these shows. Okay, so
Mr. Smith, yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
they've been talking about DPS right now. DPS-CD is ranked the worst school system in the country. We're talking about obliteratingly high illiteracy rates. How do you deal with these problems when our core educational institution is failing? And what does skilled trades provide that these traditional institutions don't as a pathway to literacy?
Before you answer that, Ray, I've got to say, even though the scores are in the toilet in the 3rd grade reading scores, there are still a lot of good things happening in the Detroit schools, and there are a lot of good teachers, and I'm working with a lot of them,
teachers
and a lot of good principals, and good administrators downtown. I mean, it's not a total disaster, but we've got to turn it around.
But we got to look at our results, not just the test scores of the kids, but our test scores, and we're the last in the nation.
Say your question again, because you might not remember it.
So where does skilled trades bridge the gap? How does it engage students differently from a traditional method of public school education? And how does that kind of empower them into their adult lives, whether it be literacy, trades, or going into technology, as you're encouraging a lot of students to do?
Well, first of all, I can speak from my experiences, right? I also went to Miller Junior High, what we call it Miller Middle School. In that school, we had wood shop, we had sewing classes, we had cooking classes, we had a metal shop, we had chess classes, we had gym, we had sports. We had a host of things that caught our attention. So through those disciplines, you're able to learn how to read. You're able to learn how to do math. You learn math in workshops. You learn reading in different other classes that we were exposed to. So I think what's happening with today's education is that I think we need stronger teachers as well, because I remember my 3rd grade teacher, Mr. Eberhard, when I went to Bellevue Elementary School. He was a really tough teacher. He didn't play around with the students. He had to come in classroom. You had to get in front of class, recite your multiplications. And if you weren't ready, he would embarrass you. That's my best teacher. I mean, he was the toughest teacher, but he was the best teacher that I remember. I think we need more teachers like that, but I don't know if the system will allow that these days. But I think it's a component of providing different educational programs that will engage the students if they understand it, if they liking. Something that each the student may like sewing. So you're gonna learn how to read. You're gonna learn how to do math and sewing classes, because that's the interest. So instead of just providing just a basic core curriculum of reading and math, I think they need to incorporate project type of programs into the curriculum as well.
Okay, listeners, you've been listening to Dr.
That is an
Sunanda,
amazing innovation. Yes.
you've been listening to Dr. Sunanda Corrado on my show, the John Telford Detroit Show, interviewing Ray Smith, who is one of the founders of the nonprofit organization, the Black Bottom Group. And Ray, would you please give us the website, your website, and your phone number one more time?
www.blastdetroit.org. The phone number is 313-309-7032.
Thank you very much, Ray. This has been a good interview. And we're now going to interview Sean Williams. You can stick around if you want to and hear the interview, but we're going to interview Sean because he's put the Vagina Monologues on in Detroit, and I just want to publicize that because it's going the show is going to be Sunday night, Sunday after.
Evening.
Okay, this is Sean Williams. Tell our listeners about what's going to happen on Monday.
On Sunday.
On Sunday. Yes, see, I got it right. Sunday.
Right after church.
Right. Sunday.
This coming Sunday, and the date is
Sunday, February 27th.
Yeah.
2022, and the doors open at 3:15. Showtime is at 4:00.
International Institute.
And it's the International Institute that's right across the street from the DIA.
What's the street? 111
111
Kirby.
East Kirby.
111 East Kirby.
Between Woodward and John R.
You know, and I never saw the Vagina.
Shame on you.
I never. Yeah. Well, I
85 years of history.
Yeah, well, throughout the years, I confess I've indulged in an excessive aggregate of vaginas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
see,
she's
seen it. She's seen it.
I saw it with my mom.
Tell the people about it.
And if a vagina could talk, then you have women, and that's what Vagina Monologues is all about. And it's so funny because we saw it 20 years ago at the Gem Theater. It was remarkable when we saw it back then. And my mom was like a Hindu, right? Immigrant woman, real conservative. We were laughing and chuckling. It was a real.
It's very emotional.
And like an
Did you cry?
Oh, I was laughing more because I was so young.
Yeah,
I wasn't into my full
emotional.
womanhood then.
Right.
My mom was crying, and I was laughing at women becoming women. You know, I thought I was going to stay a little man forever.
Is it sad?
It's emotional. It's an emotional.
It's very
journey.
Emotional.
It's an emotional journey.
But because it's about shaming. It's about friendships. It's about support.
Maybe we ought to go see it. I've never seen it.
Absolutely.
I think
absolutely.
You want to go see it?
Yeah, it's been going on for over 20 years in Detroit
20 years.
And nationally.
I've heard about it. I've been hearing about it for a long time.
And what I did, we started, I think I started doing it in 2011. Frankie Darcell was the person who told me about it. She had me come on her show and all that. And she said, Sean, have you ever heard of this play called The Vagina Monologues? I'm like, no. So she emailed me the script. I read it. I'm like, wow, this is interesting. We didn't have Frankie Darcell in it, Monica Morgan, Cole Coben in it. We didn't have a lot of national people. Brenda Perryman, she was one of the big supporters.
So does it follow the same script on every performance?
Yes, same script.
Okay.
They have it where you could add some stuff to it
or
make it local to your regional area and everything.
Well, this sounds fascinating. I mean, it really does. It's one that I never did see. So I guess being a lifelong Detroiter, I would be able to go and see.
And so how did you come to the International Institute? I would have never thought of seeing the Vagina Monologues at the International Institute.
Right.
Oh my God. Because I've been volunteering there for like 20 years, teaching little kids how to say 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we was doing it at Wayne State, and then I did it at 1515. And I normally just try to find different places. So I found the International Institute, and I said, this is a nice venue.
It is.
They definitely doing they hand sanitizing. That people got to wear masks. We only letting 200 people in, and we're gonna have vendors there and everything.
Oh, that's great.
So
vendors, bring some books down.
Yeah.
And this is like, sorry.
No, go ahead.
This is kind of an introduction of a new kind of literary consciousness that you're bringing back into Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Because you're also talking about bringing about a book fair.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's something I'm looking at doing sometime in August, August 6th or
Well, I'll
7th.
definitely have books
You
for
know,
you at that.
it's just
Yeah. All
it's
right.
just I'm fascinated by how much talent Detroit have.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people I like the arts. I grew up in the church. We had a drama group in the church. So
Yeah.
that's what got me into the arts and everything.
Yeah.
So I started in the music business, but then I said, let me start doing plays. Especially when Tyler Perry blew up. I'm like, wow, I could do the same thing. So
Absolutely.
that was one of the things that I
So-
really got into.
So then how did you, Mr. Williams, begin to promote the Vagina Monologues?
With Frankie Darcel. But it was like once she left out of Detroit,
Yeah.
the ladies wanted to still do it.
Yeah.
So
Where's she now?
she's in Philly.
Oh,
But
right?
she's syndicated in Detroit. Yeah, she's in Philly though.
Wow.
Yeah. And she do plays in Philly now too.
So the ladies told you to
Keep
the
doing it,
organization
and we've
moving?
been doing it every year since 2011.
So I heard even during COVID,
Yes.
you had a performance.
Yes, we did it. We did it on my podcast. I have a podcast that come on every Sunday, and one Sunday we did it in February just to give the people something to look forward to down the road. So we ready to get on stage.
Well, how can you be contacted?
Yes, my phone number. I'm like you. My phone number is 313-433-8384, or they could go on Eventbrite and look up Sean P. Entertainment Vagina Monologues.
Okay, say all that again. Phone number.
Phone number again, 313-433-8384, or they could go on Eventbrite and look, Google Sean P. Entertainment Vagina Monologues, and it'll pop up.
Any local artists who'll be performing in the Vagina Monologues?
This year,
you can mention?
This year we got director Nay Renee. She's been around a long time. She done directed some plays with Vanessa Lynn and everything. We got a couple of comedians. A young lady named Heather Cowles. She's in it, and couple of other people. It's over 17 ladies in the play. So it's a lot of monologues.
17 vaginas.
See, there you go. You said it, not me.
You can say anything on this show.
Right.
I got to be careful in WCHB.
You know, John, vaginas are made exclusively of brain matter.
Oh, well, that figures. that figures. And penises are probably not made.
I'm not going back and forth.
They're made from dumb, dull matter.
What I would say, I had one of my older friends. He came to the play, and he said he was so impressed with it. And guys be scared to come, and I tell the guys, come. Once you come, you'll be like, wow, now I appreciate what the women go through and everything. And so I'm asking you to come out, and you will have a great night.
So there's some pathos involved in this show, as I understand it. So you've seen it.
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it. But it's different every time.
Yeah, it's different every time.
It's not the same play. It's not like a Broadway play.
It's
different monologues. You'll never see the same play twice.
Right.
It's an evolution.
Right. And then there's different ladies doing it and all that. They bring their own flavor to it.
Yeah, you see these women up there 20 years ago, and like now you're an actress, you're on stage. It feeds into your momentum and what you bring to the audience. Yeah. So it's a changing play. It's a changing platform.
Right.
And that's why it's labeled Vagina Monologues, because it's timeless.
Oh, it's timeless.
I made that up, but you know what I'm saying.
But no, I have to agree with you, because I think she came out, in 95 with it, or 90, and it's been around.
It's been around.
And you know what? That's when the Sisters of Color were around doing their plays, and they were also working with Ron Allen at the time in Detroit.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a great time of germination of our Detroit literary arts, especially in the Cass Corridor era.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay. See.
We got to do a show just on that.
Okay.
Yeah, the Cass Corridor artists.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
In the 90s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know who turned me on to it this time was David Rambo.
David Rambo, he didn't been to the production. Matter of fact, I gave him. Every year, I give out a Lifetime Achievement Award to people who inspire me or who didn't help me out. One year, Brenda Perryman got it. David Rambo
He's
got
in
it.
that For My People show. He did that show.
Yeah.
In fact, he publicized his book on that show when it came out.
Wow.
2010, my autobiography.
Okay. Yeah. And he's a great great guy. He's been around a long time. And I think he came to one of my plays. After that, we just hit it off.
Yeah.
And I always call him for advice. He lecture me and everything. So that's the craziness.
David Rambo, on his off days, he literally reads academic books.
Yeah,
I mean,
that guy is
this
heavy,
man has a
man.
phenomenal mind.
Oh,
he needs to
yeah.
write some books.
And
yeah.
he's leading the charge on nonprofiteering in Detroit,
Yeah.
where he's looking at how arts funding is being disseminated in Detroit and who's getting it. And before we get into funding dissemination, especially of our Detroit artists, you're watching the John Telford Detroit Show, coming to you live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top media platforms. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe to us and other various programming that we offer here at WJZZ Cool TV, one of the coolest, blackest stations in the world.
All right.
And thank you, Dr. Sunanda Corrado, for that wonderful commercial. And now I've got to say, if someone asks you to sign a petition advancing two measures, the Michigan Student Opportunity Program Initiative and the Michigan Tax Credit for Student Opportunity Scholarship Contributions Initiative, don't sign it. I repeat this, don't sign it. It is a Betsy DeVos thinly veiled scheme of Betsy DeVos's to advance the privatization of our public education. So don't sign it. It's a thinly veiled voucher program is what it is, which the people won't get the chance to even vote against. Wow. So don't sign that.
So if there are enough signatures on this petition, it goes directly to the Michigan legislature, which is Republican controlled, and the measure simply passes. There's no referendum, there's no vote, there's no thought from the Michigan public. So if you sign the petition, it's as good as passing the law.
That's right. That's right. So, Sean, tell us, how long have you been working in the entertainment business?
Oh, I started out of high school, 1989, Murray Wright. They had a program. My teacher, Mr. Arndt, he's gone now. He said, "Do you want to work at a radio station?" It was 90.9 WDTR. It was the Board of Education radio station. So I worked. Yeah, I was in high school.
Oh my
that's how
God.
I got
We're talking
my start.
about the Gilded Years.
Yeah. And they had different shows where kids would come on and do stuff. I was a part of Teen Profile back in the day, and from there on, I just started doing radio, TV, and then I left Detroit.
Reconnect to Navidi, because he came late. He came like after reforms. He might not know there was a radio program.
It was a radio program that the kids used to come down to and all that, and that's how I got my start on 90.9 FM.
So they researched their own topics and stuff like that?
Yeah, we had to do the research, interview artists. We interviewed council people.
Wow.
I remember meeting Barbara Rose Collins. I remember her. A lot of people back.
I think Dr. Vidi would be interested in what you're.
And they should bring something that back.
Because this would help grow our youth leadership back to connect with us old people.
I'd like you to talk to my kids at Frederick Douglass.
Oh yeah, that'd be real good. That'd be real good.
The more exposure these kids can get to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to hear some sexy stuff. What happened to push you out of music into drama?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I was part of the music business. The music business changed.
Yeah.
You know, with all the craziness that was going on, it just wasn't cool. And then I started getting into drama. I was part of the drama group at my church and everything. And one of the plays, Nat Morris, came from the scene. And he said, "Sean, you know everybody don't go to church, so you might want to throw your plays at theaters." And that's when I started doing it at 1515 at Wayne State. And then that's when I did it at different places. And International Institute was one of them, too.
I'm still blown away that they're holding the Vagina Monologues.
There you go. What'd you say? I know that place.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tell us who your biggest influence and role model was coming up.
Coming up, I guess my very first thing that made me want to get into the entertainment business was a movie I seen when I was in the 10th grade, Hollywood Shuffle by Robert Townsend. You remember that, or you didn't see that?
No, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Y'all need to pull that movie up. It was just how they was trying to get into the movie business and they couldn't do it. So they end up making their own movie and all that. And that's how Robert Townsend started off. So Robert Townsend, I used to like Eddie Murphy, you know.
Oh, I love Eddie Murphy.
What you say, you love Eddie Murphy, yeah.
I've seen him in so many movies. There's nothing that guy can't do.
Right.
I mean, he's unreal.
So, you know, and different artists, you know.
So what's the circuitry right here? Because we were talking about David Rambo and a lot of the stuff he does to kind of equalize funding and what's going on. How complicated is it to be an artist in Detroit? How complicated is it to get auditions, to get into a play, for a Black production to go national?
It's complicated, but I always tell people just do the work. And that's one thing I done learned. I've been doing it since 2006 or 7.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a lot of work, but you just got to get out there and do it. You know, you have some frustrating nights, but it's plenty of stuff going on. And then it's a lot of Detroit movies on Tubi and all that. So slowly but surely it's coming back and things are going on. It's just you have to do the research and find it.
So can you make a living as an actress in the city now?
I see some people doing it, and filmmakers, they making movies, they getting checks and everything.
So art's on the rise.
Art's on the rise, but we still need more.
Yeah. So the filmmakers are coming here the way they used to?
Not like it. It's a lot of Detroit people doing their own movies.
Indigenous.
Now. Yeah, they doing their own movies now. So, you know, we'll see. We don't know what's gonna hold for them.
We might need to have a local film festival.
Yeah, they do a couple of them now. Yeah,
It sounds like a real good idea.
Yeah,
local film festival would be good. We got filming, we got poetry.
Poetry is big. Yeah,
people writing fiction. You know, there's a short story quarterly that that Keith Owens is doing. You know, who's my manager, manages some of my stuff.
Yeah,
and I have a story in one of them. In fact, I've done it several times. But you know, I want to ask you something else, Sean. I want to ask you, in your view, what's the difference between music in the past and music today?
To me, the music, well, this is a good one. I remember going to see Motown the musical. It was good.
Yeah.
But then, like I told somebody, it was cool and I liked it. But then I would have liked a musical on the Def Jam artists. You know how the rappers
on the what?
Def Jam
artists.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the Def Jam?
I don't.
No.
I'm square.
What
was this?
This when rappers first started, Ron DMC and all them. And I said that was my era.
I got to tell you.
All college graduates, by the way.
I got to tell you. I learned to play the violin.
Wow.
There's some hip hop violinists.
Yeah.
Too.
I was not a hip hop violinist. I'm a classical violinist.
Wow.
And I learned to play the classical violin at Esterbrook Elementary School on Linwood and McGraw in 1944 when I was 8 years old.
Guess what I played when I was little?
What'd you play?
The cello.
Oh, wow.
Elementary. Until they cut the program.
In elementary school, how could you do that?
I was sitting right there.
You must have been a big kid.
No. You was sitting there and you was learning. And I was so hurt when they cut the music program.
Oh, man.
Yeah, did it for 1 year. And I said, wow. And that's when things started declining.
What year was that? Do you remember?
Ooh, I was in elementary. Probably it was the early 80s. Early 80s. Yeah. Man. And I played the cello. And to this day, I still say I could have been a big old international cello player.
Cellist, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Yo-Yo Ma.
Yeah.
There was a great cellist when I went to Northwestern High School.
Okay.
But then I got put out of there and got sent to live with my father. I went to Denby, and at Denby I played in the orchestra. And we had a great cellist there named Mario Di Fiore. Wow. I don't know if he's still alive, but he ended up playing for the symphony, and he was one. In fact, that was a great orchestra, the Denby Orchestra. See, we got to get more of those.
Yeah, that's what we definitely need more of that.
That orchestra back in 1952, when I was playing in that Denby Orchestra, we had Clark Sist in that orchestra. We had Alvin Score in that orchestra. Both of those guys are passed now, but they ended up in the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, both of them. Wow. Which I probably would have too. But
that's what I said. If they would have kept the program going.
We always used to duel for the concertmaster chair, and sometimes I'd win it, and sometimes Alvin would get it, sometimes Clark would get it, and I think sometimes Miss Aber voted for me instead of Alvin because Alvin wasn't always behaving as well as he should have. But because I think
you
it's
have
probably
to have discipline.
I think he's a better violinist than I was. But anyway,
Wow.
But you know what? Like the
I'm
hip hop
digressing.
thing is a good point because DEMF it's also associated with the electronic music movement,
electronic
where it was
music,
international.
right.
I mean, you had to go to Germany to hit it big in
Yeah,
Detroit.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So we don't
Mhm.
really show the intersection between electronic music,
Right.
you know what I mean, and hip hop. We always
Yeah.
think about it in the Bronx.
Right.
You know?
It's
Yeah.
all over the world.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, on that note, I got to make sure that I do this. We're going to have actually we're going to next week, next Wednesday, we're going to have Dr. Ida Short, who was one of the good board members back in 2012 that appointed me superintendent of schools in Detroit. She's going to be coming on because what is happening to Black Eden's Casablanca Hotel in Idlewild, Michigan. I got to tell you about this. Dr. Ida Short is one of a group that are reviewing and replenishing and reforming and remaking really the 35-room Casablanca Hotel, and it was built in 1950. And it's laid vacant for over 40 years, but it's currently in the early stages of being restored. And Dr. Ida Short is viscerally involved in that restoration. So we're going to bring her on next week to talk about how that is happening and anything else that Dr. Short wants to talk about. She just got her doctorate, by the way.
Congratulations, Dr. Short.
And you know that was a venue in Idlewild that as a result of Jim Crow, you know, all of the great black artists in and around Detroit used to go up there and do their performing.
And perform, right.
So they're renewing and restoring that hotel. And I think there are a couple of others, 3 educators, Miss Betty Wiggins and Dr. Charlene Austin, and of course Dr. Ida Short are involved in that. They've embarked on an endeavor, which is a really noble endeavor, to restore the Casablanca Hotel in Idlewild, Michigan. And we're bringing her on next week, but I wanted to do a little.
Be part museum, part hotelier, and part performance, perhaps convention center for leadership groups and other kinds of
convention center.
That's what it was.
Wow.
Isn't she bringing it back to that?
Yeah, that's what it's going to be again.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is something that we're going to do next week. But I want to get back to Sean and ask him a couple more questions. And here's one. Here's one that's a fascinating one, Sean. Well, you know, it's not a tough one.
Okay.
Name an actor, actress, or musician, dead or alive, that you would like to interview.
Wow, that's a good question.
You can interview me too if you want.
I'm
alive and I'm a musician.
And he got plenty of books out.
I'm a writer.
No, you walk in history. People like you, David Rambo, Nat Morris.
Yeah, he's my age. Dave and I are the same age. We're two old guys. Yeah.
Wow. See, y'all need to do a TV show together. It's
just
and y'all got so many stories.
I had David on my WCHB show. Wow. I had him on there a couple of years ago.
And he did a lot of talking.
Oh, you bet he did.
You know, wow, that's interesting. I think I probably would want to interview Denzel Washington.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite film of his was? It wasn't Malcolm X. It wasn't some of the other really great ones he did. I liked the one where he played the hurricane.
And I was going to say that too. That was a good, powerful movie.
Yeah.
Never heard of him until the movie came out.
Yeah.
And it was a book and everything. And I said, wow, never heard of
if he hadn't gone to jail, if that boxer hadn't gone to jail, he would have been middleweight champion, hands down, because he was knocking out everybody. I remember that.
Our music programs didn't close.
Right.
Reuben Hurricane Carter.
Yeah.
Reuben Hurricane Carter was his name. So you'd like, okay, who else would you like to
let's see, who else? Actress wise. That's a tough one. I'm trying to think. Name some actresses and I see.
Oh God, I'd name old ones, so I wouldn't be too good in that.
Nah, but who?
Well,
I just keep thinking about jazz singers.
I loved Barbara Streisand. I mean, she was an actress and a singer, but
yeah. Yeah.
The Way We Were, that film, The Way We Were, where she was with Robert Redford.
Right.
Robert Redford was a track man and the athlete, and he was apolitical, and she was totally political,
Yeah.
And then she made that song famous, because that was the theme song for that film.
Wow. So yeah.
You don't have a favorite actress?
Trying to think.
I would interview Michelle from Destiny's Child.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think she's
Yeah. Or what about Beyonce?
God bless her.
Oh, okay.
But that's
so
who I would want to really
okay.
interview. I think I could read a bunch of interviews about Beyonce and be satisfied with knowing something.
Okay.
But there's so many like great actresses and great singers of great skill that hold up other pop artists that never get known or interviewed for the actual skills that they have.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, the lady that movie really made, that film that Beyonce was in when they played the group that resembled the Supremes.
What was the name of that movie?
The lady, she
Diana
Dream Girls.
Yeah.
Dream Girls.
Diana Ross said she went in there and watched the movie with her lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dream Girls.
Did she really say that?
Yeah, she said that on a talk show. I remember hearing her say that.
Yeah. And Eddie Murphy was in that movie, Dream Girls.
He did one heck of a job.
He did a great job. Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, oh God,
Jamie
Foxx. I love Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Django, man, what a film.
Oh, okay.
I watched that film about 3 times.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
I love that.
I've been telling a lady at my church, I said, "What's Django? You need to watch Django."
There's nothing Jamie Foxx can't do, too.
Yeah.
He played Drew Bundini Brown in a biopic of
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. I mean, he was very versatile guy.
Okay.
So any other actress, any other actor, what?
No, but definitely the ones we named sound good.
They sound great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, tell us what kind of plays or movies that you like. What are your?
And you're watching.
Oh wait, what time?
Telford Detroit Show coming to you live, streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe to us. And thank you for watching WJZZ, the coolest TV in the world. And we are here today talking with Mr. Sean Williams, who is promoting the Vagina Monologues, about to debut? Is it just one show?
Just one show.
One show, ladies and gentlemen. One show. Bring your grandma, not your grandson so much.
Right.
It's at the International Institute.
18 and over. I think anybody 18 and over should come and see.
International Institute this Sunday, February 27th
at 4 p.m.
At 4 p.m.
Doors open at 3:15. We have vendors there. We're going to have food vendors there. So it's just going to be a nice time, a nice evening.
And remember,
a night on the town.
And it's never the same show twice.
Right.
And that's at the International Institute at 111 East Kirby in Detroit.
Right.
And you can get tickets at Sean P. Williams Productions, 313-433-8384.
Yes, sir.
You can get tickets at Sean P. Williams Productions at 313-433-8384.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so remember that, and everybody needs to go to this, and I think I need to go to this.
Yeah, I really think
we'll get Joe and head over there.
Yeah, great.
Let's
all
me,
of y'all
my
come
husband, and Dr. Telford. It'll be a great feminine experience.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
You might be scared of them.
No.
Come on out.
I'm all in for a feminine
just
experience.
Come on out. I think you really will enjoy it.
I told you, the aggregate of vaginas that I've already been acquainted with.
There you
it
go.
wouldn't hurt to get acquainted with.
You probably could write your own book.
I did. As a matter of fact, you got a PG rated book here.
Okay, this is PG. Okay,
I got to warn you about that.
Okay.
Which I signed this book to Sean. He's got a copy.
Yeah. I'm going to sell it on eBay. It's going to be over $1,000 on eBay.
Okay, hey,
I'll come back
I won't argue with that.
Okay,
folks, I also got to say this. I mustn't forget. Miss Virginia Starkey, fondly known simply as V, the proprietress of V's Boutique, offers a wide range of fine clothing and accessories for ladies. You can find all sizes of women's fine apparel in V's one-stop excellent customer service at V's Boutique that you can't find anywhere else in Detroit anymore. V's is at 16423 East Warren Avenue. That's 16423 East Warren Avenue. And it's right around the corner from the Alger Theater and from one of the few libraries that's still open. There are 6 of them open. We're trying to get several more of them open.
Yes.
And, I ran
Mr.
for
Bellant said that 12 of the 15 that are closed will open soon in the next few months.
Yes, they need to hurry up and do
Godspeed.
that.
Yeah, we had Russ Bellant. We had Russ Bellant on the show last week. He is the president of the the Detroit Public Library Commission. And I ran for the Detroit Public Library Commission, but the school board, which is kind of oriented toward the mayor right now. The school board, the selection committee, who were members of the school board, did not appoint me, which may have been a blessing in disguise, because now I can run for the DPSCD school board itself rather than for the library commission, which I think I'm going to do. And that's what's November the 8th is election day.
Yes.
November the 8th, 2022, for the school board. Okay. Before we talked about that, John, I was going to ask you, what kind of plays or movies do you like?
Oh,
what are your favorites?
Do the Right Thing. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's a great. That one
man.
Definitely Spike Lee. I love that one.
Oh yeah, Spike Lee.
Raisin in the Sun. I'll go
Another
old school.
One. Yeah.
Let's see what else. Ooh.
Come on, you're an entertainer. You got to be able to come up with some of these films, man.
It's when you see so many, you forget about a lot of them.
That's true.
Soul Food. Did you remember that movie?
I don't remember that one.
Soul Food.
I remember Soul Food.
Yeah.
I like Friday.
Okay, see, she going with something silly. Friday.
Yeah, but you know what? It's just got so much Americana humor to it. It's like iconic to me. This
well, he probably will relate to Cheech and Chong.
I like Cheech and Chong.
see, I remember seeing that as a kid.
I saw a lot of the movies they were in, Cheech and Chong. Yeah, see. But I also liked Viva Zapata.
Ooh,
Viva Zapata!
Revolutionary movie.
Okay. That if I needed to be radicalized, which I didn't, because I was already radicalized because I saw what was happening to my black teammates. I'm my relay teammates, in the Detroit Track Club and Wayne State University and Northwestern High School and the United States national team. They were getting discriminated against. They couldn't go to certain hotels. This is back in the 50s, when I was running. But Viva Zapata radicalized me. That was Marlon Brando playing the part of Emiliano Zapata. Viva Zapata. After I saw that movie, I was ready to rebel against everything and everyone. I mean, that is one heck of it. I think that's my all-time favorite movie.
I think Do the Right Thing would be mine.
Do the Right Thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we've only got a few minutes left. So don't forget International Institute this Sunday, February 27th at 4 p.m. Vagina Monologues. Only one show. Please come. If you don't know the International Institute, if you haven't been there before, you've got to come through. It's a small jewel in the city. It's right behind the DIA. They have a multicultural summer camp for children. They have all kinds of legal services for immigrants. They have all kinds of stuff that we aren't able to talk about. So please come out, meet the vendors, meet the local actors and the actresses that keep all the arts animated and alive in the city. I thank you, Mr. Williams.
I thank y'all. I thank y'all. I really appreciate being on the show.
This has been a
don't
good
forget
show.
about his book festival coming up.
And definitely I'm going to reach out to y'all so you can sell all your books.
All right. Okay. And should I do my uncivil warfare poem?
Do your uncivil
warfare? No, we don't have time.
No, we do it.
I do?
Yeah.
All right.
Just background music.
Right. Okay. On this evil and fatal occasion of the Capitol building invasion, the traitor Trump's collusion demands his execution.
Wow.
They get mad at me for saying that on WCHB. Not WCHB, but, people in Oakland County.
Right.
And you've been listening to the John Telford Detroit Show with Dr. John Telford and your co-host, Sunanda Samother Corrado on WJZZ Cool TV on every Wednesday from 10 to 11 in the morning, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. It was the late, great Dr. Wayne Dyer who said that John Telford has a warrior's heart and a poet's soul. Please listen also for Dr. Telford on WCHB AM 1340, Saturday mornings at 9:30 and Monday evenings at 6:30. And thank you for tuning in. Come see us next week, Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. And thank you for listening.